Like a lot of kids growing up in Fort Frances during the 50s and 60s, John Gasparini spent a great deal of his time at the Memorial Arena. Now, some of that time was spent being inspired by watching his hometown heroes, the Fort Frances Canadians, win the 1952 Allen Cup. Other times, it was taking to the ice to develop his own hockey skills. A strong center, his talents caught the eye of another Fort Frances native, Bob Peters, who was the head coach at the University of North Dakota. Upon graduating from high school in 1964, he signed on with the Fighting Sioux. Not only did he make a name for himself for his exceptional hockey skills during his time at UND, he also acquired the nickname Gino, and that has stayed with him to this day. A three-time letterman, his time on the forward line at UND resulted in Western Collegiate Hockey Association championship titles and 3 trips to the NCAA Final Four. And in his senior year, he shared the 1967-68 captain duties with fellow Northwestern Ontario players Terry Ogden and Mike Furlong, and under the guidance of coach Bill Selman, who also hailed from Fort Frances, the team earned runner-up honors in the 1968 National Final. Following a tryout for the expansion Los Angeles Kings and then a season of playing senior hockey in Southern Ontario, Gino eventually made his way back to Grand Forks in 1969 to pursue his master's degree. Taking up an offer to serve as a graduate assistant for Coach Selman by 1971, he had taken over as the assistant coach of his former team, setting in motion a career in hockey administration that would last over 40 years. In 1978, when UND was looking for a new coach, they didn't have to look very far, with Gino getting the nod to take over the reins. Over the course of the next 16 years, he built UND into a hockey powerhouse. In just his first year, he led his team to the WCHA title and just narrowly missed out on the national title, losing a hard-fought 4-3 NCAA final against the Herb Brooks-led University of Minnesota. Named the 1979 WCHA Coach of the Year and the College Coach of the Year for the state of North Dakota, this rookie coach was becoming a force to be reckoned with. The following season, his team repeated as WCHA title holders and once again made it into the final game of the NCAA Division I tournament. But this time, they returned home victorious after defeating the University of Michigan to claim the national crown. During his time behind the bench at UND, his teams won 4 WCHA championships and bringing home the national titles in 1980, 1982, and 1987. Just as coaches Peters and Selman had done before him, Gino looked to a number of hockey players from Northwestern Ontario to bolster the UND squad, including the likes of Mark Chorney and Greg Johnson. Also included among his local star players was Hobie Baker winner Tony Herkus, who was part of the strong bench that led UND to its 3rd Gasparini-inspired NCAA title in 1987. A self-described demanding coach, his efforts produced results with a number of his protégés earning All-American honors, many of them advancing into the pro ranks, with over 75 of his former players being selected in the NHL entry draft. As if coaching a championship team wasn't demanding enough, in 1985, Gino took on the job of Director of Athletics, serving in both capacities for 5 years. In 1995, Gino took on another challenge as he was named the Commissioner of the United States Hockey League, serving as President of the USHL from 2003 to 2009. It was under his leadership that the league grew into a strong amateur development league and a training ground for a number of college-bound players. Not surprising, this outstanding coach and hockey administrator has earned a number of honors and awards throughout his career. In addition to being named WCHA, State of North Dakota, and National Coach of the Year on numerous occasions, he was also the recipient of the 1999 John McInnes Award from the American Hockey Coaches Association and the 2008 Sioux Award from the University of North Dakota. In 2010, he received the USHL Distinguished Service Award, which was renamed that year in his honor. This exceptional builder of sport, Gino continues to be involved in the building side of sport through the operation of his own consulting company, marking a lifetime of involvement in the world of sports that all began back in Fort Frances those many years ago.